If you're ready to make a comeback, give me a few minutes and I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to reinvent yourself. However, there is a price to pay and you should be willing to give your all, otherwise this won't work. What led you to watch this video is either a painful experience or a desire that you've been wanting for a long time now. Visualizing your dream life is a powerful way, but what we are covering in this video is 10 times more powerful than just visualizing your dream life. So first, I want you to radically reflect on your life right now and answer these questions. What am I tired of tolerating in my reality? What do I want to be 1 year from now? What would I be doing daily if I was already living that version of myself? What aspects of myself do I need to release to become this person? What story would I love to tell people when I introduce myself next year? But this doesn't end here. There is something more important, and if you would commit to doing everything we are talking about in this video, you will be a new person in exactly 1 year from now. Now, we are going to break down our vision in 5 different areas. First, we are focusing on identity. You need to know who this future self is. So I want you to spend some time and ask yourself, who am I? Then we are going to focus on your wealth. You're going to ask yourself how much you're saving, how much you're earning and investing. Then you're going to move on and focus on your health. What is your emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental well-being? Then you're going to focus on your relationships and you're going to ask this question, who is in my circle of influence? Last but not least, your lifestyle. You're going to ask yourself, where am I spending my time? Where am I living? Where am I traveling? You're going to go in full details because this is not just an exercise. You are guiding your awareness to focus on what you want, and you're giving that information to your brain to focus your attention to your intentions. Now, I want you to keep this number in mind, 70-30. The key to becoming unrecognizable is setting your goals that scare you, because most of the time people set realistic goals that keep them in the same reality over and over again. So I want you to understand these 3 types of goals. First one is be. Who do you want to become? If you would ask this question to me, I would say, I am a compassionate and inspiring leader who speaks on global stages. Then we are going to focus on do goals. What do you want to experience and create in life? Here, you can talk about your personal experiences or professional experiences depending upon the priority of your goals. Now, we are going to focus on have goals. What do you want to own and achieve? Now, here, I would say something like, I have successful social media channels with more than 100,000 subscribers on each platform with a deep connection with my loyal community. Keep in mind, I'm just sharing my professional goals. Yes, there are more things in my personal life that I also want to achieve, I also want to do, I also want to experience. So don't just limit yourself to only your professional goals. For me, right now, this is my highest priority and this is what I'm trying to grow, because rest of my life is pretty good and even my career is pretty good, but this is where I want to see more growth, because once I have more growth in my career, I know that it's going to multiply tenfolds in my other areas of my life as well. Now we are going to tap into our future self identity. This is where the magic happens. If you want to introduce yourself as your future self, you need to embody the actions and behaviors of that person. In short, you need to be that energy. Now, that can be an energy of love, peace, abundance, excitement. Whoever you want to be, you need to start channeling that energy right now. You cannot just stay frustrated and confused and expect things to change for you. And I'm just saying this from my personal experience because I have done that, and I know that that mindset is not going to lead you anywhere. It's going to keep you stuck in the same reality. So I want you to please listen to this advice. And when I'm saying that these things work, I'm not just saying because I read it somewhere. I have practiced it, I've experienced it in my life, and I just want you to take all this information because this is probably the path of least resistance, and I wish somebody would have told me before. So I want you to take some time and write down your new introduction. Instead of saying, I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to do this, simply embody who you are as your future self. Now think about, you already have all the things that you want right now from 1 year from now, and create that statement as your introduction. I would say something like, hi, I'm Guri, and I host life-changing events, workshops, and retreats that really transform people's lives. Now see the difference in the energy, the confidence, and the clarity that I have when I am introducing myself with the second statement, and where the first statement is all about trying, which means you're not feeling confident that you're there yet, or maybe you're not even sure that you will be able to achieve that reality. And remember, whatever you're putting out, it's coming back. So if you're putting out an energy of confidence, of this person who have reinvented themselves, you are going to get back similar opportunities and similar experiences, people in your life. I know I said visualization is not the only tool, but it is really helpful for you to give new information to your brain. And when you feed your mind with the same information, because now you're visualizing your future, again and again, you're sending signal to your brain that this information is important. And with the repetition, you're going to reprogram your mind. And now, instead of operating from this old conditioning and old beliefs, now you have this new set of information, new set of beliefs, and your actions, your behaviors, and your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, everything will be aligned based on what you're feeding your mind with. So I want you to take 5 minutes a day and visualize your future self. I want you to feel it. I want you to see it. Use all your senses. Be there. Really feel that emotion of your future self. And when you repeat that, naturally, you're going to feel a different energy. One thing that really helped me when I went all in on act as if, I started dressing, I started behaving, I started showing up on camera in the world as my future self. In the beginning, it was hard, it was weird, and I used to feel uncomfortable even introducing myself to other people as this new person. I remember when I had a job and also my business, I would always introduce myself and tell people what I do, what I was doing at my job. And I would mention my business as like a side hustle, my side business. But when I decided that I'm not going to relate myself to that identity, that reality that I was living, I started seeing changes in my behavior and my action. I started introducing myself as, I have a business. This is what I do. I teach people meditation, manifestation. I work with different companies and brands. And when I started really accepting that part of me, that identity, I started seeing myself going from my job to my business full time. I knew what my future self is doing and how they are showing up. What are they wearing? And this is what my future self was wearing in the past. And I had to become comfortable, even though there were people who would make fun of me or who would say, "What are you wearing? This hat is funny. It looks weird on you." But I knew that this is my future self and this is how I am going to show up in the world. I don't care what you think. I feel good in this and I am going to stick with it. So I want you to really honor yourself, really accept yourself, who you are and who you are becoming, and love your journey, because this is the secret, because that makes you magnetic. When you really own who you are, you become magnetic, and opportunities, experiences, people gonna start attracting towards you. Now, this video would be incomplete if I don't talk about the last thing, which is the gap in between your present self and the future self. And how you're going to close that gap is by taking not just action, but aligned actions. There are a few things that I do that continue pushing me forward to meet my future self again and again. And the first thing is that make a lot of people uncomfortable, and that is investing in themselves. If you feel hesitant every time you're thinking about investing in yourself, I want you to focus on this belief, because this belief is coming from somewhere. And I want you to fix that belief as soon as possible, because it is stopping you to reinvent yourself. I remember being hesitant and even doubting the other person when I wanted to buy a book. I wanted to hire someone as a coach. I wanted someone to mentor me. I wanted to attend a workshop, an event, or take a course. I was hesitant, but I knew that this is my old identity that is keeping me in the same reality. And in order for me to move out of this identity and reality, I had to do things that the successful people do. And this is what successful people do. They invest in themselves more than they invest in anything else. The next thing that I had to do was to put myself in new environments, and that can be attending a retreat, learning a new skill, joining something that was really helpful for me. And I remember every time I was in that new environment, I was scared. But the reason I was scared is because I was stepping outside of my comfort zone. And I am so grateful that I did what I did in the past to be where I am today. You want to surround yourself with people who are already living the life that you want, or who is also trying to achieve the same thing that you are achieving, because that energy is infectious. Now, if you don't believe me when I say this, Think about a situation where you always feel negative. Maybe that can be your work, maybe your family, maybe you go somewhere, or you spend time with someone who make you feel negative. Your energy changes in seconds. And at the same time, now think about a situation where you feel happy, where you feel like everything is working fine for you. And that is again the power of energy. And the easiest thing that you can do if you don't want to go to retreats or workshop or take courses, change your environment in the house. Because what you are seeing and feeling, this becomes your vibration. So if your environment, your house is not giving the right vibe, you need to change that vibe. If you want peace in your life, you need to organize your house that reflects peace. If you want love in your life, you want to have things, canvases, posters that show love. If you want more money in your life, you want to have things that remind you of abundance. And the last thing I want to mention, which 99.9% people don't do, which is to take uncomfortable action. And if that looks like sending an email, posting a video, recording your music, then you need to do that. Otherwise, your future self is never going to manifest. Always remember that change starts within you. And you're already that person because that future version of you is already existing in the present. Because when the future will come, that will become your present, which means you already have the present and that version of you is already here. Now, it's all the work that you have to do in order to dig deep and bring that personality, that identity out. And I don't want to create a fantasy world for you that this is going to be fun. This is not going to be fun. You are going to meet your best friend, your inner critics. You're going to have those negative voices in your head when you're going to take action that is going to stop you, that is going to say that this is uncomfortable for you. Come here. You are living a beautiful, comfortable life. But that is the point. That is the moment that will decide that if you can or cannot. Especially in those moments, I want you to be kind to yourself. I want you to be compassionate. You want to send that love to that inner child because deep down, we are really reparenting ourselves. So if you're with me, let's make this comeback a great one and let's not just surprise everyone, but surprise ourselves as well. And remember to be grateful for where you are and where you're going.